Okay, so next film on our list is another quite recent one that was quite eagerly anticipated because it's a David Fincher film, also starring Michael Fassbender, who a lot of people seem to like, ourselves included. And it was The Killer, which is about an assassin, as you'd expect. He's not just a crazy killer who's just willy-nilly. This guy's getting paid to do it. So it's all about his character. He got a lot of internal monologue going on. The thing I liked about this film the most, I think, was that it didn't take itself too seriously, and the character was a lot more flawed than you thought he was going to be in terms of actually executing his job and executing people. He kept messing it up and then trying to make up for his mistakes, which was quite hilarious considering the internal monologue. You've also got a great soundtrack with a lot of Smith's records.
Smith's, yeah, which I loved.
Yeah, I thought it was quite well suited to this.
It was
and
perfect.
added a very cool sort of thread to it all. But and it's Fincher, so it looked gorgeous. It was shot really nicely. If you're a big fan of Michael Fassbender, it's one to watch because he is great in it. You know, I've never seen him in anything and I thought he was rubbish. Even in some of the rubbish films he's been in, I think he was still great in them. You know, thinking of him playing Magneto in some of those X-Men spin-offs. But
he's a terrific actor and he's a safe pair of hands. Always delivers. I was excited just a moment it was David Fincher, and you're like, I love David Fincher.
Yeah,
what a great record he has.
Again, another one that's like a Netflix production as well. So
it was, yeah.
You know, also, after a brief theatrical release, straight on the streaming platform.
The streaming platforms are really taking up these big films now, aren't they? But it's it was really great. It was kind of like, because it was very, to me, comparable to Hitman, the game.
Yeah.
And this is what I felt the Hitman movie should have been. Because it felt more like the game. I love the fact, as you say, it goes wrong and he's self-correcting and stuff like that.
It's that whole idea of you can plan to the nth degree. You can plan, have this disciplined life where you don't let anything in that's going to compromise you in any way. Yet circumstances can still transpire that things fuck up for you with
exactly
unforeseen events and stuff like that. So.
And then everyone as well that you're working for, you can't trust in this world, and that whole element of it. Very stylish, all the cool stuff.
That's one of his credos, isn't it?
Yeah, the changing jackets and costumes in different places, and the scooters and bikes and all these cool things. It was all very 10 different identities laid out in front of him.
I loved all that stuff too. He's got like really a stash of them, hasn't he? And all these passports, different sort of.
Who am I today? Yeah.
Yeah. And, which gun am I going to use? Which is the best gun for this scenario?
It was shot great. The look was fantastic. It was slick in its.
That scene where he goes into the house where the dog is, and he manages to knock the dog out, and then there's that huge fight with that guy. That was an exciting scene as well.
It was.
Even though he's the main protagonist, you feel like you don't know how this is going to work out for him.
No,
it's not like James Bond where all right, it's going to be a massive fight, but James Bond's going to win in the end.
Yeah, exactly.
It was more, they managed to do it in a way that was like, shit, is he going to get away with? He's going to lose an arm, going to lose an eyebrow.
There's peril
He's
here.
just going to lose his hat. What's going to be the worst thing to happen here?
I like to imagine once the automatic payments have dried up, the episode of Storage Wars, where they cut the lock on one of mine.
But I thought it was a lot more comical element to it than I expected, considering the dark tone and that kind of, some people are expecting that sort of Jean-Pierre Melville, the samurai sort of element to it, which it has got that kind of, I'm a disciplined, killer that follows a strict credo that I don't veer from, and that's why I'm successful, and that's, that, like in Heat, don't have anything in your life you can't walk out of. It's that sort of thing, isn't it? Where it's like, trust no one, expect the unexpected and all that stuff. But there was more comedy to it than I expected.
Always expect the unexpected. Okay.
It's kind of almost like taking the piss out of that genre a bit. Because like I said, you can plan as much as you want, but when it comes down to it, random things are still going to happen that can compromise you.
Yes. Yeah. But it was great fun. Great, and out of the blue for me, I didn't know it was coming. So it was like, oh, what a treat.
If you have enjoyed this video, please consider supporting us at buymeacoffee.com or join us on Patreon. All links below.